Wings. Liveries. Curves. Multiple classes. Chasing one another. Insane racing machinery. Howling vipers. Roaring muscle cars. Whining Camaros. And BMWs screaming to the heavens and back. These are just some of the things that makes High Plains Raceway a special place to visit. I've been going on and off to this racetrack for about 3 years now, starting in 2018, and High Plains has never failed to impress and enamor me with the insane machinery people bring to the track. From customer appreciation days to SCCA races, High Plains is definitely a gift to the Coloradan petrolhead who likes their automotive activities to have some lateral G-forces. Today's video is no exception either. We all know that COVID has basically shut the country down, and any events there are tend to be few and far between. So when I saw this event for High Plains pop up on Instagram, and what with it being summer, I figured it was about time to prep my camera gear, strap up, and head back out into the world for the first time since February to record some real-life race car shenanigans. Here's how the day started. Muffin. Yay! Hey everyone, it is, what is it? So it's 6:16 in the morning. It's early, I gotta swap hands already. We are, after the Corona blues, after Corona killed everything, just absolutely every event, we're finally going to go to an event. I need to check my okay, I've got the little camera. I needed to make sure I had the cover for the lens here, but we are finally going out to another event. It's been since February, since Drift, Colorado, if you can believe that, since I've gone to an event, and this one's actually much more, this is a new event for me, but it's not at a new place. We are going back to High Plains Raceway. Say it with me, everyone, High Plains Raceway, HPR. So, either way, we're going back to a very, very familiar place, except the difference is I'm driving there. I'm not going to record it for a variety of reasons, of which I also don't have a dash cam to do that, unfortunately, but this is a NASA event, and so what that means is it's basically like an SCCA event, except it's not an SCCA event. I always mess that up, which is, honestly, it's kind of interesting. I didn't know we had NASA events out here in Colorado. Alrighty, sorry about that. But yeah, so I've never been to a NASA event ever, and so it seems slightly more on the amateur end of the spectrum as far as the racing goes. But got up at 4:10, always early. Saw the sunrise for the first time in a long time. Actually, I'm rapidly running out of time here. I got to figure out what I'm doing with my shirt here. But yes, we're going out to this NASA event. Technically, it's a 2-day event, but I'm probably only going for today because I don't have a lot of space on my computer. But yeah, so I'll see you all when we are at the event. I feel like I'm forgetting something that I meant to say, but yeah, so I'll see you all when we're there. It's supposed to be 87 here, 87 between 9 and 10 o'clock, but right now it's 68, so it's cold, so I want to wear something longer, but I'm not convinced that that's a good idea, but we'll see. saying back at the house, there are a lot of cars here. There's even a Viper TA actually, and not only that, it's a Viper TA 2.0, so that's even not only cooler, more rare. So I'll get more video and more photos of, I need to get some photos of it. Sweet cars, there's so many here. On these setups, they're pretty crazy. They are pretty insane. They've got to be over $100,000, I'm telling you. Sorry if you can't really hear me. Obviously, I'm muffled because I have the mask on, but it's a requirement, and frankly, I completely understand that. Before I continue rambling, though, let's talk about this. We indeed have, let me swap. There is indeed an A90 Super here, and honestly, this thing's tiny. This is a smaller car than I thought it was, actually. I quite like it. It looks way better in the flesh than it does in the photos, I'll tell you that much. It looks like a proper sports car. And you know what? Even the front end I'm kind of warming up to. Looks good. Looks good. We'll talk more about that car later, though. For now, I'm going to the viewing area because I need to get my GoPro out, put it on my gimbal, and then start doing some still shots with that, because as still as I try to be, it's just not the same as the Hero 7 black on a gimbal. So I'm going to do that, maybe get some videos out here. I've got a zoom lens now, so we'll get some videos with that too, but I've already got this lens on it, some photos, and then more video even still. We got a long day ahead. It's almost 8 o'clock. It's probably 8 right now. But this thing ends at like 4:20. We got a long way to go.
This way. Give him the signal. Faster. Whoa! Go!
Give it the beans!
Give it some
Since when do you race an X3 on track? Hey everyone! So I just got done taking some photos with my 200mm lens, because I haven't really tried it out at the track yet, and I just did, and it works fantastically. I just need to get better at using it in tracking, which is always a problem with me. But we're now going to talk to some people about their cars and get some shots of their cars as well. I've got this lens on it, so not only can we do that, we can take photos that I typically take. And what I mean by that is up close. So we're going to do the Viper, and we'll do a few other cars, but we're starting with something really rather different, something you typically only see in Europe.
Yes, this is a genetic, it looks like,
but it turns on at like 185 degrees. So it's been on.
How did you smuggle a Jannetta in America?
What?
How'd you smuggle a Jannetta in America?
Oh.
How'd you do that?
We've actually got 4 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
So is this a G40 Junior?
This is a G55. This is actually a GT4 car.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We have a G40.
Hey, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
That we're swapping we got an S2000 motor in it.
Ooh.
Yeah. That makes about 240 horsepower.
Okay. V-Tech?
Yep. Yeah.
How'd you find it?
Well, we bought these used. They were in the States already.
Oh, okay.
And then we got another one that we bought new from the Jannetta dealer in Miami.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep.
You typically only
see these in Europe, so this
Right.
really caught my eye. I was like,
Yep.
there was no way.
Right. Yeah, there's only probably a handful of them. There's maybe 10 in the States.
Whoa, wow. Verified company. How does it feel to drive?
They're really good. They stop really well. And corner extremely well. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. No traction control, no ABS, no driver aids.
Old school.
Yep.
Yeah. That was good. Do you know what your lap times are?
Like 152,
Okay.
probably 151, somewhere right around in there.
Nice, nice.
Okay.
Look at that car time. That thing is the size of the color. I mean, come on, that's got to be 6 piston. That's insane. That's insane. You just don't see it. Warren was saying that there's 10. 10. There may be 10 in the entire US. Or in the States at least. That puts this in really verified company, and I thought seeing that CA 2.0, I thought seeing that was pretty rare, but this, sorry Viper, but this has got to take the cake. Dang. And what Warren was saying is that this is a G55 and it's a GT4 car, so that means, if I remember correctly, that puts it very nearly in the same league as that BMW Z4, which I'm not sure if you've seen yet. So, if you haven't seen it, we'll have to get up and cover and post while I'm talking. But I think he was saying that either one of these has Honda's 2000, and this one's Honda's 2000. And I'm not totally sure. It looks like, just check that. Ow! The carbon fiber fence. It looks like it might be an inline engine. Maybe. But the thing is, this is the intake manifold. It's kind of a weird intake manifold. Look at it. It's on point of the camera. I'm not looking at the screen. Janetta! What a cool piece of work. It's got race car. Doesn't make a difference. That's crazy. Really? I'm gonna have to come back with my GoPro and get some gimbal shots of this. How rare is it to see a Janetta? I remember correctly when I was watching, I think, the American GT4 Championship or something like that. There was a Janetta running in that race, and I don't know if you guys saw it. It was at Circuit of the Americas.
I was watching the Cody race. Let me flip the screen back. I was watching the Circuit of the Americas race, and I think that there was either 1 or 2 Janettas there. But that was it. And seeing it even then was a massive surprise. So seeing it in the flesh looks as good as I thought it did. I like proper sports cars like that, you know, the long hood, short deck proportions, Viper proportions, and that, you know, that car's kind of got mini Viper proportions. I really, really like it. It's just a shame that Janetta doesn't make a road car. I don't know, maybe to compete with Lotus or Caterham. It's a big shame, but it's crazy seeing that here. I need to put my hand through my my little lanyard thing. Anyway, though, like I said, so we're gonna continue walking around, talking to some people. Cause look, I'm an introvert. I don't like talking. Well, I say don't like. I get nervous and a bit shy talking to other people. So, trying to push myself, you know, put myself out of my comfort zone a little bit and film some other stuff. Again, talk to some people. I want to go to the tech pit. I want to ask some people what the difference is between this and SCCA races. I want to say SSCA race, but no, it's SCCA. I want to ask them what the difference is. And I kind of want to ask a few people what their lap times are. Like at Janetta, Warren was saying he did a 152, and I think like a Viper TA 2.0 lap time might be 210, 220. Not sure it's in the 1 minute range.
And then of course we have the car that I've been moving all day, the TA 2.0. I can't believe such a rare car is at this event. It's crazy.
Yeah, I just wanted to get out and get some days in.
Yeah.
Usually I just do open lapping days with it.
Wow, okay. I've seen your car on Instagram a few times. So like when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is that car.
Has it been on Instagram?
I think once or twice, yeah.
Okay.
There's another TA 2.0 that's white that has a blue stripe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Love the car.
Thank you.
The thing about TA 2.0 is that I think there's definitely under 120. So this is really rare. I think they, as far as the TA, the normal TA 1.0 option cars, there's more of those than TA 2.0 cars, and that's a shame because to me, this is as far as like a GT car, this is the Viper you want. Look at those rims. Such a beautiful car. Obviously, you know it's my favorite car, so gotta Google at it a little bit. It's just so interesting. The fun fact though is I remember, oh hey, look at that, the extended TA 2.0 spring cars, because you have the fans from the normal TA, but then you have the extensions from the TA 2.0. And I remember by the name of Sneaky Snake, I never on Instagram, Viper fans probably know me. He actually did that mod to his Viper. So his is a GTS with the advanced aero package and added the TA 2.0 spin extensions onto it. But getting back to the fun fact, I remember back in 2014 when the SRT at the time, they were at SEMA. I remember back in 2014 when SRT were at SEMA, I just totally missed my little lanyard thing. I remember when SRT was back at SEMA in 2014 and they introduced what they were calling I think the Grand Touring package, and it was a striker green TA 2.0 Aero Viper, but it was supposed to be a Grand Touring package. And ever since I saw that car with the green on it, nice, with the green on it, to me, if I were to get a Viper GTS with the all red interior, dual white stripes, and then TA 2.0 Aero on it, that to me is just the perfect GT car. For me, sporty enough to be the performance car that I want, but yet somehow kind of classy enough, kind of timeless enough to be the kind of GT car that I want. And it's just so cool seeing one of those because the ACRE is my favorite track car, track Viper. The normal GTS is probably my favorite of like the MGB kind of car, except obviously more track hateful. But the TA 2.0 is, for me, the perfect mix of both. Tracky enough to just dominate, but somehow timeless enough. It looks so good. You know, remember the old Gen 2 Hennessy Venom Vipers that had that Hennessy spoiler on it? It was it had wide pillars, and it went over like that, kind of like the super spoiler actually. The Mark IV Super Spoiler. I remember the Gen 2 Hennessy Venom Viper, and it had that spoiler on it. And so the TA 2.0, or hey, Casey Puch's car from Genius Garage, think of it like that. That TA 2.0 spoiler kind of reminds me of that. And so once again, to me, it's the perfect mix between sportiness and kind of elegance. I love it so much. Anyway though, let's go find some other cars. This is quite the assembly of Miatas you have here.
Yeah, I think we brought 19 cars total.
Dang, so all of these and then all the ones in there?
Not all the way down, I think 6 bays down, and then we're also part of that group over there as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so that 19 is just the Miatas. 19 is the Miatas and the 350Zs. So.
Okay. Okay.
And there's a few other cars over there as well that are part of our group. So, yeah, there's quite the group here for sure.
Yeah. So you're running in the Spec Miata class, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How have these been holding up? Most of them been fairly reliable?
Yeah, very reliable this time. Last year it seemed like we had a few issues here and there, but this time, the first run out, all of them held together, nothing significant, so we made work last night really easy.
Nice, very nice. I was down on the hill when I was watching the Spec Miata racing. It looked pretty hectic.
Yeah, that's the thing about it is the cars are so close in power that, it's all about driving at that point. And it literally comes down to who's the better driver.
That's the great thing about spec racing.
That is exactly it. It keeps it so close.
Yeah.
The competition's so close.
Are you driving any one of these cars?
Not me at all, so I'm just part of the pit crew.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's my 3rd year doing this.
Nice.
Yeah. When I first started, there was only like 6 cars, maybe tops, that would bring down, and that was crazy. And then it got to like 11. That was last year. And now we're at like 19.
That's awesome. How many tracks have you guys been running at?
A lot.
Like Circuit of the Americas?
No.
Oh.
But we go to all the Colorado ones. We go to one in Utah. But yeah, it's just pretty much a lot of repetition of those tracks.
Okay, okay. Utah Motorsports Park, is that the one? Yeah.
That's a fun track. I don't know if you've ever been out there.
No, no, not for that. I'd love to go to either that or Laguna Seca, really all the big ones and smaller ones.
Yeah, I've never been to any of those other ones. Just the Utah is the biggest one that I've been to.
Okay.
These little cars typically don't make it out to those tracks.
Utah's pretty hot though.
Huh?
Utah's pretty hot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
What am I saying? Today's high's 87.
I guess it's pretty hot as any other place. It definitely warms up for sure though. I would have to agree.
Yeah.
But good speaking with you.
Yeah. Thanks for indulging me. As you can see, we got a pretty good spread. All the Miatas here, you got this really nice purple one. The silver is kind of funny. This red, this gray, this what is it? Royal purple looking car. So it's got the yellow and the white and the purple. I'd almost be surprised if this wasn't a royal purple car. This looks no, it's whatever that is. Yep. Have this nice little blue. This kind of reminds me of kind of like a Shelby Cobra blue. Pretty cool. I think it looks a little more blue on camera, but that's kind of interesting. Multi-spoke, they kind of remind me of they probably have no more than about, less than 200 horsepower, weigh less than 2,400 pounds, give or take, or maybe at that, depending on if they have any ballast on them. And so the thing with Miatas is that they don't have a lot of power, so you have to what they call momentum drive it. And so what that means is you can't lose momentum through the corners, otherwise you're going to lose speed because you don't have the power to accelerate out. So you have to carry as much speed through the corners, so you don't have to accelerate as much out of the corners. And the thing is with all those spec Miatas, all the cars are more or less the same. And so that's the thing about spec racing, is that the idea behind it is that there's less variance between the cars. Let's say like Formula One, for example, the difference between Mercedes and Williams, right? Or AlphaTauri, which would be, I think that'd be Sauber now. The difference between those two cars is because Mercedes is Mercedes and AlphaTauri now sucks. With spec racing, they're all pretty much the same. So it really is down to the driver, because imagine if you had Lewis Hamilton and pretty much the rest of the grid in that Mercedes. Then we would see who is truly the faster driver. You don't get that though. You don't get that though because they are all different cars, different chassis, different engines, different specifications even between teams that use the same engines, like those who use Ferrari units or those who use Mercedes units. And so that's what's so interesting about spec racing. And the thing is, they don't just do Miatas, even though Miatas, as far as I know, are some of the most popular cars for spec racing. Back in 2011, Dodge had the Viper Cup, where they used the ACRX actually. And that was a spec race. Most of the cars were pretty much the same. So once again, it came down to the drivers. Even if you just look in this paddock, you got, Cora Z06s, Camaro Z011 LEs.
a older Camaro ZL1, you got a Toyota Supra. Now, to be fair, those are in the slower class, not really part of the race, but even then, car choice makes a difference because each car has specific attributes and different attributes. So they're not all going to be the same. Like the suspension geometry on a Mustang, especially like a new age Mustang, is wildly different from that of that Miata back there. That's why spec racing's kind of cool. And there's a whole lot of these spec racing Miatas here. Some are NB generations, some are NA generations, but I think it's mostly NB generations. Or generation Miatas, plural. Which is kind of surprising, actually. I would have expected a few more of the first gen Miatas, but I guess because the NBs, I guess they made more of them, and they're not as popular, especially now. You can get them more. You can get them a lot more easily, and for far less money. But even still, even the newer ND Miatas, because we have a few of those here, and I think those are also spec racing cars. Even then, you're still running in spec class, so you still. If spec racing had a motto, it would basically be, your car can't outdrive the other cars. You got to outdrive the other drivers, and that's pretty much what spec racing is all about.